Sure.com with the victorious Chris Lytle in your final mixed martial arts bout. We've seen a lot of people retire and then come back. Is this really it?
This is it. You know. Have you ever noticed one thing? When the people retire and they come back, they don't do well. It always ends bad where they're on a 3-fight losing streak. They get knocked out all 3 times, and that's not going to be me. I love fighting, love the sport, but one thing I realized when I was off for a long period for me for 6 months was that, I enjoy being home and spending time with my family, and I think they need me a little bit more right now than fighting does. So,
throughout your entire mixed martial arts career, you've always been family conscious. You kept your job at the fire department. Mixed martial arts, even though it was probably your biggest breadwinner, you were making the most money towards the end of your career, it was still almost secondary when you talk about the fire department, you talk about your family. Any regrets really not focusing on mixed martial arts full time? Because, I mean, really, you're a guy who was never knocked out, was never submitted. Mm-hmm. Your losses are by decision or TKO cut. Mm-hmm. Any?
There's a little bit of me that just says, what if? I felt like the best I ever felt was after I got off the reality show where I trained all the time, twice a day, 6 days a week, or 7 days a week actually for 6 weeks, and I would have loved to have seen what could have happened if I would have just dedicated my life to that. But looking back at what I'd done different, no, I take great pride and responsibility in the fact I have a family, and it's not like I don't think I should ever just go, hey, I'm going to try and do this, and if it works, great, and if not, sorry you guys, I'm going to have to find something else. I had a great job. I still have a great job. The fire department, I enjoy going every day. I have benefits. I have health insurance for my kids. When I was first started on the fire department 10 years ago, you weren't doing that in mixed martial arts. Nobody was making money where you could just say, hey, I'll just do this all the time. So, in a way, I wish I'd have came along a little later and money would have been greater. But, at the same time, I had a great job and I have a family that I'm responsible for. And, it's me. It's not anybody else but me to be responsible for what happens with those kids. And I take that serious, and I'm not willing to jeopardize that for anything.
Once the UFC started awarding Fight of the Night bonuses, you were always a good candidate whenever you were on that card. That fight played out tonight with Dan Hardy in the main event at UFC Live 5 and Versus. Talk about your final mixed martial arts bout. Was it the fight you were looking for?
It was exactly the fight I was looking for. I knew Dan Hardy was going to come with his back against the wall, and he was just going to come try and take me out. And he hit harder, way harder than I thought he was going to go into. And he was coming forward a lot. I knew the punches were coming. They had bad intentions. I had to use all my defensive skills that I had to not get hit, and try to use my hard head to when I did get hit, try not to let it bother me too much. But it was a tough fight, and then luckily, he shot in on me with about a minute left, and let me get a guillotine. I mean, it didn't let me, but I think I have a very good guillotine. When he shot in, it was there, and just a reaction now from training with so many good wrestlers just to grab that guillotine, and it worked out for me. So it was everything I could ask for and more. Dan was a great competitor. He gave me everything I wanted. He came at me trying to take my head off, and that's all I want from somebody.
When people found out this was going to be your last fight, they talked about you going out on a win. Some people thought maybe you would, abandon your balls to the wall style, and maybe you would try to take him down, exploit a submission game. We kind of got the best of both worlds tonight. You boxed, you kickboxed, you used your combinations well, and you got that guillotine. And I think, Chris, throughout your entire career, your submission game has been one of the more underrated parts of your, weapons. Talk about getting that win and showing your submission skills. Could the end have really been? I mean, the knockout probably would have been nice, and I'm sure you would have liked that. But I mean, the submission has to be just as sweet.
It was very sweet, I was landing about everything I could, and it wasn't knocking him out. So, I was glad I got the submission. I was glad that I didn't aggressively try and get the submission. I have something where I feel like if I'm trying to take the guy down, I feel like he's better than me on his feet. And, I don't think that anybody's going to outdo me on the feet. So the fact that he shot in to take me down and I got the submission that way was about as good as it could get.
When this fight was made, people were wondering why Dan Hardy and Chris Lytle were in the main event. Both you guys were coming off losses. But we saw tonight why you can always be thrown in a main event. Dana White consciously made that decision to put you in that spot. Did you have any words with Dana following the fight tonight? If so, what were they?
I just really thanked him for everything he's done for me and my family. And I took a lot of people were asking me a lot about do you want to take Dan Hardy down this fight? And I said no. I have a lot of pride in the fact that the UFC thought enough about me and him to put me and him in the main event. And they did that for a reason. They want me to put on the best fight possible so that, next week everybody says, I'm buying this pay-per-view. That was my job, and I knew that. So, I'm a good street shows. I'm going to come to work and do what I'm supposed to do, and that's what I did.
You've always been a hard worker, a lunch pail type guy when it comes to mixed martial arts. You say you're walking away. Is that, I mean, are you walking away from the sport? Are we still going to see you at UFCs? Or are you going to still train?
Oh, yeah, I'm still going to train. I still have people who I'm going to train, guys who have helped me. I wouldn't be here right now if they hadn't been helping me, you know, at all times. So I'm definitely going to be there for them. And, you know, you're going to see me cornering some guys. It's just going to be something where I'm not going to be able to say, hey, I got to do 2-a-day trainings, and I'm going to have to be there every day. And, you know, if there's a scheduling conflict between one of my kids' basketball games and training, oh, I'm picking the basketball game now. I wasn't able to do that before. I mean, people always knew if I had a fight coming up, you know, sorry, Dad's not going to be there. I can't do that anymore. I won't do that anymore. And I'm just going to be happy to help out as much as I can. But, you know, priority is going to come first, and that's going to be my family.
This will be your final or one of your final post-fight interviews in your career. Fans are watching all over the world. Do you have anything to say to your fans that have followed you through your career?
Just thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys always got a good time out of when I fought, and that's what I'm being thought of, a guy who said, you know, anytime I was going to fight, you wanted to see it, and appreciate you guys for always being there. I mean, I can't believe the support I get, you know, for what I do. It's awesome to me, and I love it, and thank you.